Hi everyone, this is Terry at terryscraftroom.com. Welcome back. I am so pleased that you're joining me today. Today I'm using the Days to Remember stamp set. And when I saw this, excuse me, when I saw this stamp set, I just fell in love with it. I think it is just a wonderful stamp set to personalize a card. Okay, so it's got, let me pull it up here. It's got this is all one stamp here. And if you look at it, so we have 1 through 7 and then 2 through 14. So anywhere you stop your 7 days, it'll start back up at the next 8th. So if you stop if your month starts on a Monday and Saturday is the 6th, then the next day is Sunday. Whoever designed this stamp was an absolute genius, I think. See that? So if your month starts on a Friday, you go to the 2nd, and there's the 3rd, and it's just wonderful. The other thing is, is that they designed it so that those 7 days is exactly the width of our stamp pad. So you don't have to mask except for days that are less than 31 days. And then you just have to mask off your 31, or in case of February, 29, 30, and 31. I think it's wonderful. It is such a versatile stamp set, and let's get started. We're going to make these, and I made them into an easel card, actually, so that it sits up like this, and then it opens like this for a happy birthday. Isn't that wonderful? Just a really cute card. So let me get my Stamp and Pierce pad here. Because we're using photopolymer stamps, you need the cushion under it to get a better image. So if you didn't know that, this pad is wonderful for that. So what we need for our easel card, and if you miss any of the measurements, hop on over to my blog, and all the measurements will be over at my blog. At terryscraftroom.com. I'll put a direct link down below, and so don't worry about if you miss the measurements. But you need a card base, 8.5 by 5.5, normal card base. It's scored at 4 1/4, and then it's scored again on one side at 2 1/8. You see that? And that's going to make our easel. I'm going to set that aside for now, and then I've got another piece of cardstock, the same color as my card base. This is soft suede. That is 5.5 by 4 1/4. I've got a piece of Just Jade that I'm going to mat on top of that. That is 5 1/4 by 4. I've got a piece of designer paper that's out of our Neutrals collection. That is 5 by 3 3/4. And these are all going to just layer like this. Now to make the rest of our card, this is for the inside. It's 5 1/4 by 4. So now I'm going to make my calendar. This piece is 2 1/4 by 3, and then I'm going to layer it on a 2.5 by 3 1/4 piece of and then you need scraps to stamp on also. So I am going to start I'm going to do August. Okay, so August this year starts on Sunday is the 1st. So it just happens that Sunday's the 1st. August has 31 days. So that is where I'm going to be stamping. So I am only inking up. You see I'm inking this part, I'm not inking. So I'm going to be very carefully ink up the numbers that I need to ink. And then I will be Just putting them on my little piece of cardstock here to make my calendar. Just like that. Isn't that cool? I just think that is such a neat idea. And then now I've got my days of the week to go on top of it, so we know what day's what. And this stamp set has where you can either start on Sunday through Saturday, which is what I use, or where's the stamp set? Or Monday through Sunday. So you can do either one, whichever one you're most comfortable with or like the best. Okay, so there's my month. I'm going to just layer this right here on this piece of soft suede. Okay, now I need a little scrap of a strip for my month, and here's my August, and just stamp that right there. Let's see, what else do I need? So we're just going to cut that off there, and I'm gonna flag this by hand. And when you flag something by hand, let's I think I'm going to run out of battery. I'm going to have to change my battery. I will be right back. So we were flagging our August. And when you flag something by hand rather than using a punch, the easiest way is to cut down the middle and then cut your flags down to the middle. And that way you'll get pretty even flags. Cut that off just a little bit more. Just like that. See that? Okay, so now we've got our month. Whoops, I'm off the camera. Guess I need to there we go. We've got our month. We've got August. We need a day to remember, and we need our happy birthday. So I have a scrap here that is going to be our day to remember. Our day to remember is going to be our kickstand. So I'm going to stamp that there. And our happy birthday is actually going to go on the inside, but it's going to be up here above our kickstand. Like that. Okay, and that's all the stamping we have. So let's put it together. The day to remember, let's set the happy birthday aside. The day to remember is we're going to punch out with our double oval punch. Right there. Now we need a background for our day to remember. So there's another scrap of soft suede. Let's get rid of that since we're done stamping. Okay, so now we have all our bits and pieces, I think. We need to, so let's start putting things together here. Get our card base. So we want to layer these three together. Just like that. And then layer this one on top of that. There's our card front. Now I'm going to put this, probably up here, because I've got a piece of our faux suede ribbon, and somewhere along here was a buckle. Where'd my buckle go? Here it is. And so I'm going to take the ribbon and feed it through the buckle, and that is going to go down here along the bottom. When I put ribbon on a card, I just use regular Scotch tape. And so I'm just going to make sure it's straight and then feed it around the back. And then make sure it's straight and tight, and feed it around the back just like that. And then I don't put anything under here. If you want to, you could put a little glue dot underneath the buckle, but I find that if you put adhesive under here, it's going to lay funny. So I just don't put adhesive under there. So now we're going to put our month on. I'm going to use dimensionals. And then I'm also going to use dimensionals on our A Day to Remember, because this one you need to use dimensionals on, because this is your kickstand for your easel. So you really need dimensionals on that. And then we need dimensionals on our month, otherwise it will just get lost in the... So here's our calendar. Now, one thing this stamp set has is a little circle. So if you have a specific date in mind, like the 6th or the 25th, you can stamp that and let me show you on this one. See, this one was a July one, and I circled the 29th. So you can circle a specific date on it to show that it is a day to remember for whoever you are giving it to, and you've made it specifically for them, which is kind of neat. And there's August right there. Okay, so our card base, you want to fold that one at the 4 1/4, and then when you fold the 2 1/8, it folds the same way. So it's going to fold like this. Okay, so now we're going to only put adhesive on this part, this first up to the score line. And then this is the same size as this card front, so I'm just going to lay it flat and then make sure it gets a good adherence there. And then we're going to put the inside piece on with our happy birthday. And then we need to make our put our kickstand together. It doesn't want to come off. Okay. Right there. I'm going to put a little bit of wet glue around this just so that it sticks really well. And we want our kickstand to be about there, so that there we go. So there is our Days to Remember card. I hope you enjoyed today's project. Please join me again or check out some of my other YouTube videos. Have a wonderful day. Bye.